could have been pretty great. A Mike Brown get down with a on me and a half a
The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So after the INT, it's Bortles. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he's got this down to the 35. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, 5-0, 5-0.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Buying time to his left, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Finding some room at midfield. And down to the 29-yard line. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First trip to the red zone for the Bills. 1st and 10 at the 19. Here's Chris Ivory with his first carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. And Jones has it over the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. First connection there of the afternoon for those 2, and it's good for a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. But we talk about being on schedule. I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Spinning away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Let's go.
Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Reuben Foster coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Allen to throw it. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age. Yeah.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Allen off the play fake. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead. And that will make this a 16-point lead. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. He's going to launch this thing way down into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go on the ground. Oh, good footwork on the spin. A second nice move. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Another run. This time it's Ivory. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Third down, here's Ivory. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. Now Bortles throwing on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And here a juke, and still fighting. 23 yards on the play.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. David Emerson able to bring him down. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play. If we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Spread right, 72.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the kick by Butker is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? But wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
Set to return. Here's Raheem Mostert. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some space here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Left side, caught by Matthews. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Ivory. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first. Now this from 43. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first. Now this from 43. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Lucy.
Bortles now on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And some room to roam now. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, I've heard stories about teams actually doing that.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Denzel Perryman not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
From midfield, here's Allen. Throwing deep here for Coleman. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Room here to run. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going, Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle it?
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. A gain of 32 that time. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Throwing is Bortles. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Butker now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And here come the Bills. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Allen now looks to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he's going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
He's going to go for a big... He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big play that time for Jacksonville. 42 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Into the red zone. It's Bortles. Dumps it off to Fournette. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it second down. Now Bortles again. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. From the gun, it's Bortles. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Bortles to throw on second down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it up.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are back within a score. Butker now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. And on the ground they go with a running back. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle. The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Over!
Allen. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, 84 yards. And the Jaguars have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead, and I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
Little salt, little pepper.
Under pressure now, and And he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
No, Jack, Patriot!
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Right there! All day, baby!
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. On play action, Allen. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
The Bills on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third down and 12. To throw, it's Allen. Eluding the pressure right. It's caught. Jones. A big 30-yard play on third.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. They'll give it up to Ivory. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he spins past him and into space. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Ivory's going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lee. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. And it's up and good. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen throwing for his line back, and he's got him complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They give it to Ivory. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Now they'll run it on the toss. Always got some breathing room. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run with Ivory. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And Hauschka's kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
they practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Huge first down, gotta hurry.
Yeah, now they have to get up there, get set, and then spike it.
They'll look to throw. He's gonna let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. A big third down play there for the Jags. And even 40 yards. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now they've got to signal that field goal unit, and they have to sprint out there in a hurry.
And this is always difficult on the snapper because his heart rate is way up there. He's got to calm himself enough to make an accurate snap.
Well, partner, still a head-scratcher to me how this one ended. Down 3. I just thought, no matter the situation, you're in a spot where you can kick that field goal and go to overtime. Why not do it?
And this is where I think the analytics guys are going to continue to get more and more traction in the league. We've talked about different people now saying, I need a game management coach, someone in the booth to take the emotion out of it. Did they lose track of where they were on the clock, right? Did they lose track of where they were on the field? Was it makeable for their kicker? All those things come into play here, and it turns out they don't get it done.
So for Buffalo, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will hit